Hey guys, Pedro here to do an album review, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Kalmah. It's a brand new album, Palo, 8th album, came out today, April 6th through Spinefarm Records. This album is an album that I was really excited about. I was really looking forward to it, especially after the first two singles were released, The Evil Kin and Blood Ran Cold. After those two singles came out, my excitement really grew and my expectations really grew. Especially because I felt that those two singles gave you two different looks at what this album could possibly be. You had one song that was a lot more melodic, more drawn out in The Evil Kin, and then you had a song that was closer to old Kalmah. So those two songs kind of opened up my eyes and really made me wonder where this album was going to go. It was going to go more towards the second single, or going to go towards more the first single. So that really got me excited, and really I couldn't wait to check out this album. So as I'm sure you cannot wait to check out this album. So let's get right into it. The album has 10 songs and it's 46 minutes in length, and I really felt that based on those two singles, the stage was set to what I expected to be a very unique, different album. Perhaps an album that merged the old Kalmah of the previous records, but also a different Kalmah, perhaps a new way where the band is going, perhaps a growth in the band in terms of them trying different things. So that's exactly what you're going to get from this album. You're going to get an album that's made out of two different worlds, and that has a song in the middle that really combines those two worlds. This album will give you songs that are more closer, that are in musically and lyrically closer to older albums, older songs from Kalmah, but it's also going to give you songs that are completely different from anything the band has done in the past, that are more towards perhaps a new path or a new experimentation that the band wants to try out new things. Bands are constantly growing and constantly evolving, and Kalmah perhaps is no different. So I really felt that this album, there is a little bit of both. So for old fans, you're going to get some songs that are going to be more familiar with older stuff, so you're going to love those. You're going to hate the newer stuff. For new fans that are not as familiar with their older work, you're perhaps going to love more of the newer stuff and hate more of the stuff that that sounds more like their older stuff. I think there's a little bit of everything for everybody in this album. I think within those 10 songs, everybody's going to get 6 to 7 songs that they're going to enjoy, and there's going to be 3 or 4 that they're not going to like, depending on how long of a fan they've been of the band. So I think they did a well-balanced act as far as merging those two worlds, where they were and they were perhaps where they're going. I really like the way they structured the songs. They really did a good job alternating those styles and those songs throughout the album, so that you don't get in a rut where 4 or 5 songs in a row are very similar in nature. So I really like the fact that they alternated it well from song to song, with each song giving you something completely different. Now, throughout the album, there's some things that are staples. The vocals, I really enjoy Kalmah's vocals. I really enjoy the vocals in this album, and that's pretty much a staple throughout the whole album from song 1 to song 10. Now, there's 2 other things that I have to mention. One is the grooviness, the folkiness, the melodic riffs and the melodic melodies from the guitars in this album. The more I listened to this album, the more I felt that some of the guitar riffs, some of the guitar melodies had a lot of folk influence. Some of them almost reminded me of Insomnium. So I really like that. I really like that more melodic approach to mellow death. I really like my songs to have a lot of guitar melodies, or just melody in general. I don't need the guitars to be just super fast and super heavy for me to enjoy the song and for me to have a heavy song. You can have a heavy song and the guitars be more drawn out and more melodic. And I think you get a little bit of both in this album. What I found interesting is that the keyboards were used as an alternative melodic tool, if you will. Okay, so in songs that the guitars were more melodic, the keyboards were not as predominant. The keyboard playing was more in the background, just adding texture to that guitar melody. In the songs where the guitar melodies were not as predominant, where it was more heavy riffs, faster tempo guitars, and there were certain parts of the song that needed melody, that melody was given to us by the keyboard playing. So I really like the way they alternated the keyboards and the guitars as far as which instrument is the one giving you the melody to the song. That to me was really important, and that to me really made each song very unique and very different. Now, the heaviness of the songs is really brought to us by the vocals and by the drums. In some songs, the guitars also add heaviness to it because you'll see faster tempos and heavier riffs. But most of the songs in this album really get their heaviness from the vocals and from the drums. The guitars and the keyboards are there for the melody, and they really alternate well which one gives you the melody on any given song. So in overall, that's how I felt about the album. This is how I feel about the album. I really like how the album structure is. I really like the way they structured the songs, and like I said, I really like the fact they alternated different styles and different looks from song to song. Now, there's some songs in this album, specifically one. If somebody asks me, was there a song that surprised you in this album? There is one that surprised me. And when I talk now about my top 3 songs, they're not necessarily my top 3 favorite songs of the album. But to me, these are the 3 songs that better encapsulate the whole album. And I'm going to start with the one that starts the album off. That's Blood Red and Cold. So that's the first song. That was the second single. To me, I have to put that, if I'm talking about top 3 songs of the album, I have to mention that one, just because I think that one really sets the table for what this album is going to be. This is one of the songs that's more closer in line with older Kalmah, but still has a lot of those components that you're going to discover down the road in this album that are a lot different and that were not present in previous albums. But this song really is the start of the merger of those two worlds. It is really the start of the album, and really the start that gives you a look at what this album is going to have to offer. This song really merges those two worlds well together. Down the road, those worlds will go into their own separate ways, and you're going to have songs that are more heavy, more closer to the earlier Kalmah songs, and then you're going to have a lot more melodic songs, a lot different from what fans are expecting from this band. So I have to mention this song, Blood Red and Cold, just because I think this song really merges those two worlds well, and it's the song that starts off the album. The second song I have to mention is Take Me Away. To me, perhaps this is the most unique song of the whole album. I don't think there's any song in this album similar, close, near, at all. I mean, this song stands on its own. It's completely different. It's song number 5 of the album, and it really breaks the album into 2 halves. It really creates a bridge. If you're looking at an album as a song, this will be the bridge that really connects the first part to the second part. Not that the first part is different from the second part, but this song kind of gives you a break, if you will. It breaks the album, and it breaks what you're getting because it gives you so much melody. This song is almost a ballad. It's not a ballad, but it's as close as you're going to get to a ballad coming from a band like Kalmah. It's very melodic. It's very dark. It's very... There's a little bit of folk elements to it, but there's also a little bit of doom elements to it. It is very drawn out. It has a lot of charisma. It has a lot of darkness. It has a lot of introspect into this song. It's a very, very unique song. Very different. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the guitar melodies in this song. I enjoyed the keyboard melodies of this song. I enjoyed how those two worlds come together. And I definitely enjoyed how the vocals and the drums were the 2 factors that gave this song the heaviness that it needed at times to counterbalance the extreme melody of the song. Like I said, this is one of the most melodic songs of the album. Not one of the most. This is the most melodic song of the album. Also the most drawn out, more slower tempos. Really a song that is going to catch a lot of people by surprise. I really think this song is going to be one of those songs that either people are going to love or people are going to hate. I don't think anybody is going to be indifferent to this song. Then another one that I have to mention is Paystreak. That's the 6th song of the album. And that song, after you listen to a song like Take Me Away, which was so melodic, so drawn out, then Paystreak is a lot faster guitar tempos, still super melodic guitar tempos, but in this song, you really get that heaviness that I mentioned before that's provided to the song by the drumming. A lot of double bass pedaling, a little bit of that extra double bass pedaling in this song really gave it the heaviness that this song really needed at certain parts. There is 2 aspects of this song that to me also took the song to the next level. There is a little keyboard bridge in the middle, almost a keyboard solo, if you will, that's followed very closely by a guitar solo. Those 2 are extremely melodic, The keyboard one is more drawn out, more melodic. The guitar riff, not as melodic, more heavier. Not guitar riff, sorry. The guitar solo is a lot heavier, but it comes very close. They come very close together, and right in the middle of the song, it really changes the tempos and the dynamic of the song from the first half of the song to the second half of the song. And I really liked it because this is a super fast tempo song. It starts off as a super fast tempo song. That keyboard bridge in the middle really mellows it out. Then you have the heavy solo that follows it very, I mean, right after you get a really melodic guitar riff, and then that comes in the solo. The solo is very heavy, very aggressive, and then the tempos pick up again. And during those faster tempos, you got double bass pedaling on the drums to add that heaviness that is also added with the vocals into it. This song is very, very cool. This song, it's also different because it's a song that also merges perhaps the first two songs that I mentioned, because this song has a little bit of the melody that you get in Take Me Away, and it has a little bit of the heaviness that you have in Blood Ran Cold. So Paystreak is perhaps the song that combines those two worlds and brings it all together as one. So this album is very dynamic, as you can tell by the choices of the three songs I picked. The album is very dynamic. It's an album that really will offer you a little bit of the old, a little bit of new. And depends on which side of the fence you are, you're either going to love or you're going to hate it. But one thing for sure, I don't think anybody's going to be indifferent to this album. I really enjoyed the album. I really enjoyed the dynamic that the band gave us from song to song. I really enjoyed the fact that they went on different avenues depending on what the song called for. I really enjoyed Take Me Away, a more melodic, more drawn out, almost like I said, like a ballad right in the middle. I really like that. It's really different, not something I was expecting from this band. But that was different, caught me off guard. So I really like the way they put the album. I really like the way the album is structured. I really like the songs. I really like the album. So now the question I have is, do you guys feel the same way? Do you enjoy this album? Do you like Kalmah's new album, Palo? Or you don't like it? Please let me know in the comment section below. And I'm really dying to know what you have to say about Take Me Away. That song to me is going to be one of those polarizing songs that I don't think anybody is going to be indifferent to it. Either people are going to love it or absolutely hate it. I really want to know what you guys have to say about that song, because that's one of those songs that will stay with you either in a positive way or in a negative way. So let me know in the comment section below. Take care, guys. See ya.